Hello and what is up, my 8 bitches? This is Dom of the 8-Bit Project, and I'm here bringing you the third part of my Redstone guide. Whoop-de-dee. So we got some positive feedback from a really cool dude, whose name I've forgotten, but I am sorry. On the Redstone video, which is really nice because not a lot of people give us feedback, and we don't really have the biggest viewer pool, who said we should keep doing this and it's underrated. So I'm going to keep doing it because I believe Redstone is a really fun part of the game, and I want you guys to enjoy it. So today we're going to be covering the uses of pistons, which I did cover in the last video, which I have now playlisted and linked to, so hopefully there'll be a link on the screen now to part 1, and that will go through to part 2 and part 3. Ta-da! Redstone guide for all the people out there. So yeah, here we go. Let's go through the uses of pistons. Now, basics of pistons. There are two types of piston. There is the sticky piston and the normal piston. As you may have seen in the last video, if you've watched it, the normal piston will only push a block, and the sticky piston will both push and pull. There we go. See, the piston doesn't pull back. The sticky does pull back. Let's get rid of all that. Make my redstone world look nice and pretty. So, with redstone, there are limitations, and these limitations you have to somehow work your way around. So the limitations with pistons really come from the position in which redstone has to go to activate them. So that can be space and annoying when you're trying to deal space management and things, which is usually the hardest bit of redstone once you've got the basics down. So redstone, when powered, has to go into the back of the piston, so it will look like that. Where it's not actually in contact with the back of the piston, it's not going to turn it on. So that's wire is on, as you can see. I'm using OCD, by the way, so it makes it clearer for you to see the edges of blocks and the redstone. I thought it might be good. Yeah, so that will go into the back if it's on. It is going straight into the back, therefore it will turn it on when you flick the switch. Ooh, that's good. Piston to move, the piston to move, that will move a block. Ta-da! Now, there are ways of wiring up multiple pistons to move at the same time, but you will notice that you can't actually, if I get rid of these, you can't put redstone down to cover all 3 of them. You see it sort of closes the circuit like that. You can make 2 of them work at once like that, but that does leave the middle one being kind of sad like that. The way to wire up all 3 of them, however, is to put 3 blocks at the back. Okay, this is kind of important. I hope you're taking notes, class. So you put 3 blocks at the back and put the redstone on top, and that will transmit it directly to the air block, which is above. Why are people Skyping me? I'm trying to film something. How dare they? Which is at the top of the piston, and power all 3. So if I do that, oh, they glitched through me because I'm on creative mode, but that will now power all 3, as opposed to that one, which will only power 2 of the 3. Another annoyance which I found having to get over is it works the same going up. You can't wire up 3 to go in a line. However, if you use 3 redstone repeaters, they don't actually have any delay on them, they're just there to be repeaters. They will move all 3 of them up like that. See, that basic point of that is that repeaters conduct redstone current. As you're conducting a redstone current, it will conduct it straight into the piston and lift it up, which is how I found how to make vertical pistons. So that is the basic limitations of it. You have the fact that it needs to go directly into the back of the piston. You can't power 3 straight like that, it will only power the 2 to either side, so you have to use 3 blocks. It goes the same for vertically. Use 3 repeaters, you can make 3 pistons go vertically. Ta-da! So now it really comes to my favourite part of these episodes, where I show you the cool things I've thought about making or have made in the past. Here is one of my favourite things to do with pistons, and repeaters for that matter, because there's a delay on it. It's the hidden staircase. So if I pull this, you'll see the stairs sort of make themselves appear like that, and they'll also go back in a delayed order. So it comes out in a delayed order, which I think looks really cool, and then go back in a delayed order. And how that works is the charge comes through from the lever onto there, goes through to the current. We have several repeaters for each layer of stairs. We have one with no delay, one with 1 tick of delay, one with 2 ticks of delay, one with full delay. And then if you want to add delay to something, as I showed you in the first video, you just put the second repeater there. So that is 1 on full delay and 1 on basic delay. So that will delay it by a bit, but not much. And that will give you the effect of a staircase that does that. By the way, if at any point when I'm showing you these things you want me to break down how to actually build cool things with pistons, put it in the comments and I will maybe make a video on like how to actually make one of these things step by step, so you can go through and make cool things in your little Minecraft worlds. Next thing we come to is the automatic door, which I did show you in the previous video. but I'm going to show you some of the wiring. So you have a door. This is usually sealed up like it is over there. You step on two pressure plates. It opens. Oh, it closed on my face, but and then you step off the pressure plates and it closes behind you. This is the wiring. So how it works: the pressure plates you stand on put the charge down there. The charge moves to here, up to a torch which is controlling this bottom piston, and then moves up to those which are controlling the top. Now they're constantly on, it's a type of NOT or an inverter, a NOT gate or an inverter. So those are constantly on unless you step on them when they turn off, when everything else turns on, which is pretty handy. Like I said before, if you ever want me to go through inverters and why they're so freaking useful, I will go through it. This is actually symmetrical, so if I were to knock through there, I'd knock a bit of redstone out, but it's the same thing on both sides. So yeah, that's the automatic gate using sticky pistons. None of these things actually use pistons. I don't find them that useful, but actually, no. I just told a massive lie. The next thing I have uses single pistons. This is the this is the only thing I use pistons for. Now, these are trap chests, as I showed you in the first video. They can conduct a 1-block redstone current. This I used for my PvP map, which I think is still up there and is in the description of the first video on redstone of these guides. I made a little PvP map, added some use command block stuff, which I will go through at a later date how to use command blocks. But yeah, I had this thing where you could choose one special item, but once you exited the chest, you couldn't then go back into the chest to get the other items. So what I did here is you have pistons at the back. So remember, pistons will not pull a block, they push back to where it was before. They will just leave it where it was. So say I want to get something out this middle chest, I open it, it pushes those blocks forward, as you can see, and then I I exit the chest, and those blocks are left, so now it's impossible to access these chests. That's my own invention, unlike the automatic door, which is quite commonplace and invented by other people, and the automatic stairs. This is my own invention for a useful one. Use chests. Didn't take too long, but usually I find the best inventions with redstone tend to be the simplest ones, and this is a really simple way of just locking people out of a chest by physically stopping you from opening it. So there we go. That is that's your one-use chest system using pistons. The fourth thing, the fourth thing I use this for is the Herobrine trap. Now this is an old school Minecraft thing. For all of you who don't know who Herobrine is, it was a myth or legend. I don't actually know if it was actually in Minecraft, but the legend goes that in 1.2 alpha they had this monster called Herobrine, which looks like a Minecraft Steve, but with glowing eyes, and it used to hunt you in your world. So people who were good when it came to redstone and stuff like that made the Herobrine trap. This is actually a bit of an anachronism because pistons weren't added until 1.7, but the basic idea is you step on the pressure plate and then you can't get out. This is also known as the noob trap because noobs get trapped by it. So you walk on the piston, blocks come up, you can't go anywhere. That's the basic point. So the idea is that Herobrine would walk in here, and then he'd be completely trapped and wouldn't be able to hunt you anymore. You could kill him. I think you can kill him and get something special. But you could kill him while he's trapped in there, or just not bother with being haunted by him anymore because he's trapped in this little box of stuff. How it works is the pressure plate. No redstone is actually involved here, I don't think. But the pressure... Oh, there's one at the bottom, yeah, to transmit the current to all four. It's basically that redstone transmits the current from the pressure plate down into the four pistons and makes them all push up, which leaves the blocks there. Even if they try to step off the plate, because they're regular pistons, the blocks will be left there. So they will be trapped in this thing. Of course, you could probably break the blocks, but that kind of defeats the fun of the trap. This is the final thing I made, which is a portcullis. Portcullis, you know, there's gates on castles that close, and they're like, "Shut the gates!" in all those action films, like the famous Lord of the Rings saga. So here we have a portcullis, basically an automatic door without the pressure plates, with a lever which opens vertically. So I used the vertical circuitry with the repeaters I showed you over there earlier in the video. Pull that, opens the portcullis, you walk through the portcullis. Here's all the redstone for it. The charge goes, oh, and you close it and the gate closes. It's quite simple really. But the charge goes to both sets of pistons from one thing, and then goes up to a NOR gate, not a NOR gate, a NOT gate, or an inverter on either side. So these are constantly on, hence the gate is usually down, until you turn the actual circuit on, which, because it's a NOT gate, turns these off because there's power going to them, which then opens the portcullis. Fun, fun, fun. So yeah, there we go, guys. This is my third installment of the Redstone guide on Pistons. I'm now going to do one on another thing, which I showed you over there, how to make cool things. It was suggested I do one on comparators. I haven't actually messed with comparators yet because they were added after I made this world. I made it quite a while ago, but they were added after, so I'll figure out how they use, find some cool things to do, show you how to use them, because I understand they're quite complicated, and then show you cool things you can do with them. Probably in the next episode. If not, I'll show you cool uses of things you put in the comments, so feel free to comment on anything you want to see, anything you want to learn. I'm here to help you guys. Yeah, it's been good doing this Redstone guide. I'll see you again soon. Peace!